This episode is brought to you by Luthor Corp, destabilizing the Middle East one product at a time.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Podcast Assemble, show where you come for your rambling geeky download. My name's Tommy, and I am delighted, as always, to be joined by my friend and co-host who is across the pond. It's our resident Superman robot of the pod, DL. How are you?
I'm good, dude. Those Superman robots, man. Gotta love them.
Gangster. Gary.
Completely useless. I bet that is the version 1 of the Elon Optimus that we're going to get, is just, but less funny. So even more useless.
Absolute nonsense. Yeah. And then it'll end up being the iRobot versions of that robot, which try and take over humanity, which I can't wait for personally.
Well, those weren't useless. Those are quite scary, actually.
That's what I'm saying. They'll evolve.
Oh, yeah.
Some good voice casting, those, by the way. We're going to talk about this today. I love James Gunn just gives all his mates a job. He's just like, you get a job. You get a job. Everybody gets a job with James Gunn.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, except you. Looking like Jeffrey Dahmer over there.
Hey, my glass. I had him first, okay? Not the murders, the glasses.
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, dude. My mom's coming to town today.
Ah, how wholesome.
Which is cool. You know, we've been planning some stuff to do, in all that jazz.
Very nice. Where are you taking her in London?
Well, literally, the one thing she wants to do is like Paul's Cathedral, and we literally just did it. So I was like, you can do that at any point when I'm working, which will be part of Monday. So we're probably there's this like the Bloomberg building is set apparently in this like old Roman temple that's
fun.
Pretty cool. So we're going to do that.
Is your mom a big history buff?
Yeah, she like teaches history.
God damn.
And so am I, to be fair.
No wonder you're so into the Roman Empire.
The only one that loses here is Gail.
Poor girl.
So we had to get a French restaurant in the middle to make up for that.
Nice. You get her some chips or something, she'll be fine. She loves hot chips.
Yeah. She's easy once you give her for sure.
How to win Gail's heart. Give her cheese or hot chips.
Yeah. Or there's actually many things.
Poutine. Is that how you ended up married to her? You gave her poutine?
I don't think she liked poutine. I think the gravy.
What?
The gravy's odd for them. Yeah. But it's like, the poutine is probably the best like embodiment of the difference between the French Canadians and the French. They're like so close.
Gravy.
Like then you hear the accent and you're like, oh, something's off. And then like it's like, they make this beautiful thing, French fries, then they add gravy on. It's like, oh, something's off. Like it does embody that, I think.
You need some moist on there, lad. You need a bit of moist.
Yeah, but you could do that in many ways. Who chose gravy?
Canadians, they need everything warm and probably wet by the sounds of it. I'm not sure where we're going with this. So Paul's Cathedral, is he different to St. Paul? It's like his mate.
I think it might be one and the same. I don't know. I don't fight religious wars. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Unlike the characters in the movie we're talking about today, which is, of course, Superman 2025. I think this was my most excited for the year, man. I'm excited we're here.
Yeah, I was excited for it.
Skeptical. Let's use the word skeptical.
I was excited for it, but I was also kind of just like, I didn't want to hype it up too much. And I think I didn't hype it up too much, and so I was pleasantly enjoyed it. And I think people that did hype it up too much would probably also have enjoyed it. So I think he did well. I think it worked out. You should go watch it.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of getting massively different vibes from everyone I speak to. Literally anyone I've spoken to about this has got a completely different opinion. No one is just like, yeah, I just enjoyed it. Everyone has an opinion about it in some way or other. So it was interesting. I went to the cinema with a couple of the friends of the show. Friend of the show Jacob and friend of the show Luke, and both were complete polar opposites. Friend of the show Jacob was just like, nah, wasn't for me, and friend of the show Luke was like, bloody loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I think most people would say it was a pretty good movie.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves, DL. We are getting way ahead of ourselves. Speaking of things that people overhype or talk about a lot, we're actually going to see the Book of Mormon tonight. I don't know. Have you ever seen it?
I think that's properly hyped. Yeah, it's quite funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. People like, even like my mum, who, let's be honest, bless her, she's not into that kind of humor, shall we say, pushing the boundaries. And she bloody loved it. Like when she went to see it, she was like, "This is amazing." She was the one saying you have to see it. So I was like, "Hell yeah, I got to see it if it's that good." You've seen it, right?
Orlando.
There it is. Well, I'll come back next week and give you the overview.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good. I liked it a lot. But I also have like a very public theater background, so I might be biased.
Of course. You've done plenty of singing on the podcast before. Go back to listen to literally any of our episodes.
But no, you'll enjoy it, man. It's one of those things that like crosses into mom fandom and your fandom, which is very rare. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, I am down for all of that, and I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. You always make a point of asking me how I am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I love to hear about your boring ass life. Let's hear it.
I just told you about my boring ass life. That's what I've been doing.
No, you just said what you're going to do, not what you have done.
I haven't done anything. I've been really late as whale watching season. We went and looked at some whales.
Yeah, boring ass life. Exactly.
You don't want to see whales? You calling whales boring?
Whales?
Yeah, we went out and watched the whale watching.
Oh, you went whale watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I might actually call that boring,
kind of accident. We went for a coastal hike, and there just happened to be a million whales going by. So we saw like all these beautiful like pods like flipping in the air and stuff, and it turns out there were 1,000 people there all trying to get the same view, and we accidentally stumbled on it. So it's just such a good, beautiful time in Sydney. Like, it's middle of winter. It's 15, 16 degrees outside. The sun is blaring through my window. Could be a lot worse, man. Could be a lot worse.
And you're whale watching. What a nice life, dude.
And then whale watching.
No, I wasn't being sarcastic, dude. That's pretty cool.
It's a beautiful time to be alive. Guys, if you want to listen to us chat about our weeks, feel free to stick around. There will be time codes in the description. Hopefully, please God, for the last time, supplied by me, Mr. Matthew Bliss of mbpod.com normally does them, and he does a way better job than I do. Just a significantly better job all around. So if you're thinking this episode sounds a little bit average in terms of our quality, go back and listen to 2 or 3 episodes ago, and you'll hear when Matt Bliss did it and how much better it is and how much you should have him as part of our podcasting team. But while you're down there looking at those time codes, skipping ahead to the main topic, the man of super, feel free to give us a 5-star review. You can do it right there in app, wherever you are. You jumped on YouTube and gave us a subscribe this week, didn't you, DL?
Yeah, let me do that right now. I actually don't know if I subscribe to our own YouTube. That is a good question.
I probably assume you haven't.
I bought premium.
Oh my God, it only took you 100 years.
So now my subscription will be worth more. The outgo, I would think.
That's what we want. That's what we want. It really helps us, guys, with algorithms and stuff we don't really understand. But DL, talk to me, man. What have you been up to? What have you been up to, buddy? What's been happening in your geeky sphere?
Well, I finished a couple books.
Ooh, what'd you finish?
I finished Annihilation, and then I'm like, partway through this other book that's called, I forget, it's some spy book. I can't recommend it yet, but I'm debating because I basically do one on Audible and then one that I'm reading. So that I can try and when I'm working do stuff. I'm determining what book next to get to read.
I ran out of my Spotify audiobook credits, and I'm just like, this is so frustrating and such nonsense. I'm like, Spotify, I'm not going to pay you more money. Like, just give it up. give me the audiobook.
Plenty of people. I bet a lot of people do. I bet. I think it's actually a really smart model.
It's pretty smart. I got to actually,
because it's like an in between otaudible and
it absolutely is. I probably got like maybe halfway or just over halfway through, not Dark Age, Iron Gold, before I flipped on and actually read it. Yeah. So I got through like the grind of Iron Gold, and then I finally got into it actually reading it. So I flip between.
Yeah, I've done that before, but mostly I'm reading different things. So
yeah, right. How does your brain keep up with that? My brain is just like, nope.
There's only a finite amount of space, so I'm losing other stuff. I don't know.
Superman 2025 is getting pushed out in the background.
Probably more like whatever like chore I was supposed to do. But I'm debating what I start next, and I think there's like Joe Abercrombie series. There's I really need to read the 3 Body Problem series, and then there's also this like classic this Cormac McCarthy classic called Blood Meridian that I've been waiting to read. So I'm gonna go to the bookshop, and maybe it'll be decided by whatever's there.
Coincidentally, I was in a bookshop the other day and saw 3 Body Problem and looked at it, picked it up, enjoyed the cover of it, and then went, oh, that show killed it for me. I can't even. I just put it back down and walked away.
That's lame, because the book's apparently like crazy good.
I have heard the book's good. I did start listening to The Odyssey in anticipation for Chris Nolan's next movie, but fuck me, that's dry. It's good, obviously. It's a classic.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
It was written literally like 5,000 years ago. Were you expecting a page turner?
Yeah, I really was. I was listening to you know what? No, actually, I do think it could be a good read / listen, but I think the guy who was narrating it was so freaking boring. I was like, I can't listen to this guy. I've either got to read it or I'll find something better.
That would be tough if you had like a bad narrator for that.
I think Stephen Fry does a version of it, so I need to find that because I love Stephen Fry. I think he's amazing.
Yeah, there's probably so many versions of that. You could probably pick your poison, I would think.
Well, yeah, it's non-copyright these days, so you can absolutely jump on it. I actually finished a video game this week. I think I've talked about it previously. Did I talk to you about Clair Obscur Expedition 33? 33?
I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, I picked it up. Actually, it's amazing. I mean, look. Okay, let me frame this for you. I'm a big nerd, DL. That's it.
Yeah.
End of my TED talk. I'm a big nerd, and I grew up with like turn-based RPGs, like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, stuff like that. Love it, love. And Expedition 33 is that, but like a modern version of it. So it's got some like interesting mechanics thrown in there. Like it's not just it hits, you hit, it hits, you hit. It's like you can block, you can dodge, you can do all this stuff to try and build your attacks and stuff. Really interesting, really well done. Getting like a ton of Game of the Year award nominations, and my God, I had a great time with it. It's got such a interesting concept for a story. I don't even want to tell you because it's like, I mean, you're probably never going to play it, so it doesn't really matter. But like, it's a really interesting story. There's some big twists after like the first act, stuff you wouldn't even see coming through. The voice cast is amazing. Charlie Cox is in it, the guy who plays Daredevil. It's really good. Like, but you might not be into turn-based RPGs, but if you like RPGs, it might be worth giving a go for the story alone.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Turn-based RPGs are tough for me, so I'm gonna keep killing zombs in Alan Wake or whatever they're called.
Oh, you're still playing Alan Wake? That's fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have much time, so it's gonna take me a while, but it is really cool. It's a fun game. Did it win Game of the Year? It's very fun. It's very unique.
It was definitely up there, wasn't it?
The story is very odd.
I mean, it's part of a bigger universe. I tried to play Control, which is by the same developers, and I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting. I can't remember why I stopped playing it, to be honest with you, but it's apparently part of the same universe, and they're sort of blending together, and there's loads of hints to different games. So, I think
it's like loosely a part of the
incredibly
universe.
loosely. Like it'll be a story from the Alan Wake, like his book or some shit.
I think the connection is they do like the Stephen King thing of like interdimensional like bleeding, like where things are like coming from the different worlds.
A multiverse, baby. Yeah. Coming from the other worlds. Love that.
Yeah, what have you been watching though? How about that?
Good question. I actually have been watching I burnt through. It's like a anime/animated show called Pantheon. I actually think you'd really enjoy it if you could get past the fact it's a sort of animated show. It's this
I don't mind that
crazy conceptual show about consciousness and love and death and life after death, and about billionaire tech companies that are really fucking shady. Really cool concept. This young girl who's at school is talking to someone on the internet, and her mum gets really worried, and it turns out there's this huge conspiracy happening, and her dad's involved, and people uploading their memories into big back-end computers. Fucking really good concept.
Pantheon?
Yes, Pantheon.
What is it on?
I know the first series was a Netflix series, and then I think they did a second series on maybe Prime. Like I only watched the first season. I didn't even know the second season until recently. But like, if you like an anime or an animated show, like I certainly do. It's really bingeable. You'll just fly through it.
Cool. Yeah, it's on the list, bro.
Super heady concepts. Yeah. What about yourself? What have you been watching?
YellowJackets. We just started season 3. We're on episode 3.
What do you think?
I think this show, unfortunately, has taken a step down halfway through season 2 from like premiere television to like above average.
Yeah.
But I'm still intrigued enough by some of the acting that I'm going to continue to watch, mainly in the first timeline, not the like present timeline. The present timeline is an absolute bore.
So boring
to me.
So dumb.
And it has consistently been since the first season ended.
Yeah.
So they need to figure that out.
Agreed.
Other than Misty. Misty's the only one that redeems it.
Yeah, I liked the one that, like, no spoilers, but the one they killed off in the last season. I loved her as well. Now I'm
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
and now I'm
saying.
like, who's left? Who do I care about in this? Although saying that, the politician lady she's got some weird, like, dark shit going on, hasn't she?
Her dark stuff is super
Yeah.
interesting, but it's so rare. It's used
Yeah,
appropriately, right? Like you
totally.
can't use it all the time. So it's like every time it comes, it's like, oh, I'm intrigued. But like the other part of that storyline, have you watched season 3 at all?
Probably about as many as you have, 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay. So like the whole like love storyline between her and the redhead that like has come back in.
The one who's got cancer?
Yeah. It's just a bit boring.
Big fat goalie. As Joey would say.
Just a bit boring.
That's a Friends reference, guys. Don't cancel us.
And then you know what the other thing is? Like you've got this like version of Shauna, the like girl who's super crazy in the first timeline, who loses the baby and all that stuff. They made the right casting for how she looks in the second timeline, but the personalities are so at odds from one another.
Even the voice.
Yeah, that I'm just like, either something really needs to address this in the story, like, eventually, or I'm like, you guys, you have to be a bit more aware of each other's performances because you are the same character. Does that make sense?
Unless that's like intentional. Like, I'm not saying that the writing is this good. It might not be.
Unless something in the story drives that change.
That's what I mean.
Which I guess maybe we'll see.
Yeah, imagine if like Shona, like in the past, actually dies, and they've all just got PTSD, and they're all actually just forgetting that someone else steps in and takes on that Shona role.
Lost?
Yeah, basically Lost. Yeah, they're all in purgatory at the end.
It's already enough going on with Lost. Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, I agree with you. Actually, I haven't thought about it that deeply about that character because I actually really like the portrayal in the future compared to the rest of them. But you're right. There is a big disconnect in those two performances.
Yeah, but I like the mystery of the first, even though I know there's no way it's going to be something. You know, as soon as I know what the answer is, it's not going to be as good as the mystery. Like that's clearly what the show's going to drive to. Look, I hope that they can nail it, but
maybe it just ends and it's like, nah, they're purgatory all along.
Exactly. And then I finished The Last of Us season 2 as well.
Oh yeah, what did you think of that?
I thought it was. I mean, it got a lot of heat, I think, but I mean, it was pretty true to the game.
I'm gonna be a dad.
Yeah, that. I mean, to be fair,
what a terrible line of dialogue. Literally,
what a stupid line on so many levels. Like, not even just like the writing, which obviously it's stupid, but just like so many levels.
Tell me some levels, DL.
It's not your kid. You literally just kissed this girl. Who do you think you are?
They're in love or whatever.
It's totally to be the video game Ellie character would have never said something like that. She's like way more in touch with, I think, like basic social norms than Bella Ramsey's character seems to be. But I didn't hate Bella Ramsey's performance overall. I think a lot of people gave her a lot of shit, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it definitely is more angsty and plucky, but that's kind of just who I think she is. Like, so she has to bring her own, personality to the role. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Well, interestingly, Neil Druckmann, who is he's the creative director of Naughty Dog, who created and/or wrote, I think, the game, who was actually helping write on the seasons, is leaving for season 3. So I don't know if that's a part of it, or if his feedback wasn't been listened to. Maybe he had too much like input, hence why it went the way it went. But that's probably one of those Hollywood tidbits we'll probably never learn until 30 years in the future does an expose on it. It's like, yeah, I had to sign an NDA. I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I think it could also just be he's got to go make the game.
I mean, I reckon they'll make Last of Us 3, surely. They must be making a ton of money from that.
I think that there is an arc here for Ellie if they want to write it.
Yeah, right. Because I've never played the second game, so I don't know. I haven't.
Really?
Haven't played it now.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's kind of.
It's not going to hurt me to know the ending, but actually, you know what? Like, leave it because I would quite like to know the ending of the second game because I believe the second half of the game flips to Abby's character a fair amount. Is that right?
Well, if you saw the show, did you?
Yeah. What's season 2?
The ending. Yeah, it's literally beat for beat.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
Pretty much like the way the story linearly folds out.
Oh, okay.
Folds away, like folds through, is the same as how you see it in the game.
That's interesting.
Which I think is an odd choice, to be honest, for television.
Why?
I thought the adaptation they would change that because you basically follow like 3 days in Seattle, right? It's
Mm-hmm,
like day 1, day 2, day 3, Ellie. And then you see the same thing day 1, day 2, day 3, Abby.
Interesting.
We'll see how it plays. I even thought in the game that was odd, but I guess like they're just trying to get you so wholly. The purpose is to like get you identifying wholly with one side, and then see how you feel wholly
maybe.
identifying with another perspective.
Yeah.
And do you hate your own opinion of what you had before? So I just think it's harder to do in television because it's very not normal. It feels very video gamey to do it that way. And
Yeah, I mean you want to be completely immersed in those characters. If you want to be behind these characters, and it's tough because like as much as I enjoyed Bella Ramsey's performance and stuff, like I found a lot of it hard to kind of believe some of the things they were doing. But then obviously I don't live in that world, so it's hard to say that. But like once you find out that the person who you apparently love is pregnant and you're still trying to go after this person, I'd be like, come on, man, like. For me, I'd be turning around. I'd be getting on a horse and going back and making sure she was taken care of, and you know what I mean. But like, she still wants to go after Abby. I'm like, I don't know how much I get behind that.
that was in the game, I think, too.
Tough to get behind. Not sure if that's the decision I'd make.
I actually think that they softened that in the show. It was like harder in the game.
Yeah, right.
I agree, but I think that's the point, like, of this show. Would you also decide to like not to go kill 17 fireflies and not save humanity because you loved this girl like a child?
Oh, totally understand.
I don't know. Some people would not. Some people would be. I think that's the point, like, of the you as the viewer decide, right? And like they try and put these like binary choices. Like you're like, hey, yeah, what if somebody murdered the person you love in front of you? Do you sacrifice like the potential of future love for the memory of, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what they're trying to do, is like force you into making this like super tragic and binary choice. So we know where you stand.
I am an open book. Let's be perfectly honest with you. Love it. So you recommend Last of Us 2?
Yeah, I do. I loved it.
Good. I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about it. So I think, look, like what you like. Who cares? I liked Superman. What do you like? Guys, if there's anything you recommend we watch or talk about, please hit us up. You can find us at Podcast Assemble on Instagram, or thepodcastassemble@gmail.com, or www.podcastassemble.com. All the places. You can find us everywhere. We have stuff and things. Let us know. Send us memes, send us news, send us reviews. We love it when you do. Dia, do you want to preface our main topic this week?
It's the main topic theme.
Our main topic this week is Meta Man. No, what is that?
Mr. Terrific.
Superman.
It's very much an ensemble movie, I feel. Like, as much as Superman is the main character, there's a lot happening in this.
There's 3 main characters.
Yeah, at least.
And they all get about equal time, I would think.
I would say so.
There's more ensemble than I would have expected for the first movie in a universe. But
well, we are absolutely going to talk about. There's a lot in this that I would not have expected for the first movie in a universe. But we're going to do non-spoilers and spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this film yet. I know some people don't get to see the film straight away, so there will be time codes, as I said in the description. Go check around. And DL is going to kick us off with his stupid plot summary.
Superman gets his ass kicked.
Just the way you said Superman. It's like, who am I talking about? Superman.
Well, clearly I hadn't written a dumb summary ahead, but it's true.
Well, I'll give you mine. Here you go. The US government backs a flying alien as long as he punches the right people.
True. Or doesn't punch.
Well, I mean, you choose. When he does, it's bad, and when he doesn't, it's also bad. I don't know. But this is from James Gunn, who is, of course, starting the DCU. This is a new universe, as DL just said. Very exciting, really big cast for this. Like, so many folks. We're going to talk about a lot of these. David Corenswet, Superman. Nicholas Hoult, he's already been in like 3 or 4 movies we've talked about this year. He gets around. He is playing a bald Lex Luthor. We've got Skylar Gisondo, who we're going to talk about, who's Jimmy Olsen. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. There are so many people in this. Frank Grillo. Mr. Terrific is Eddie Gathegi. Nathan Fillion's in this. Isabel Merced, you were literally just talking about The Last of Us Part 2. She is Hawkgirl. Alan Tudyk. All the mates. All the friends.
Yeah, she was in it, yeah.
All the friends are in this. Did you know Bradley Cooper's in this? Did you recognize Bradley Cooper?
Of course.
I didn't even recognize him.
How did you not recognize him? That's exactly like Bradley Cooper.
I just did not. I just completely phased over.
Also, him doing some weird fucking accent.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in just a minute. But before we do, it's time to bring back a segment that we haven't talked about in a little while, DL. And this is a favorite of mine, and one that I always look for and never managed to find a good one until today. If you guys don't know, we do a section sometimes, very regularly these days, because people don't tend to do goofy IMDb pictures anymore. Apparently, goofy IMDb pictures is effectively saying, this is your IMDb picture? This? Why would you choose this? So our current MVPDL, who I'm sending you right now in the background, is Jacques-Yves Bouchers, who is from The Substance. You will remember. Fabulous photo. Love that picture of him. If you could just describe that while I send you the contender for today.
Oh, God. Dude, that's just mean.
You chose it as our Goofy IMDb MVP.
That's mean, dude.
How do you describe that?
Well, this one, because it actually could be a headshot.
I suppose. I'll give you that.
It's just he's got a weird face.
I think it's the pose of the face. He kind of scrunches his nose of it.
Yeah, what is it? It kind of looks like I gotcha.
Yeah.
I told you. Or like, like that satisfied smirk that like when you like, something bad happens to your arch enemy.
He could be a villain. He could be the villain of this movie.
Yeah.
And here is today's contender. This is James Larson. We're not being mean here. We're not being mean about people's faces. This is a Daily Planet reporter from the Superman movie. Can you explain that picture to our lovely, lovely listeners?
Feel like I'm at a dive bar in Texas.
Professional photographer photo of this guy.
This just seems like a 80s high school picture or like.
Oh my God, that's exactly what it is. It looks like someone out of Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
The girls stay the same age and I keep getting older.
It's like the perfect ensemble shot if that's what you're going for. I can be at the background in a bar, hanging out.
He's leaning on a pool table. He's got the handlebar mustache. It's a delight. Which one for you then is the juiciest IMDb picture out of those two?
I think the first one.
We're gonna stick around with our stakeholder from The Substance.
Yeah.
Love it.
I do think so.
Love it. Well, let's talk about the movie then, DL. What happens in this? What's the plot of this film?
Well, it starts out in an interesting way, which I think is smart. And it's like, whereas the Marvel way was like slowly introduce us to a bunch of characters that, one by one become the ensemble, maybe a couple in each movie. This was kind of very quickly introducing you into a world where there's like a lot of metahumans. So you're almost like, which I guess is like the equivalent of superheroes. You're like almost partway through the story, or like the world's already built up around you. In that way, and you follow Superman kind of losing his first battle, and he kicks off a story where it's like the traditional Lex Luthor versus Superman story, but again, no origin, like farther along.
Tweak the origin as well slightly, which I kind of liked.
Which part, spoilers or non-spoilers?
I feel like it could fit into spoilers. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to the origin tweaking.
So and you follow him basically going through life in this setting. Again, I don't know what spoilers or not. This is pretty early. Lois Lane and him are already dating.
Semi-dating. They're early stage. They're like 3 months in, I think. Yeah, they're pretty early doors.
Yeah, like they're dating. I mean, they're making out.
Yes, it is an established universe at this point.
Yeah. She knows he's super, like, that's either he's super trusting or he's bought into the relationship.
Yeah, fair enough.
And, he's kind of starting to it's like the very beginning of him getting grief for making decisions that he thinks are right.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of his first big decision, and his first sort of real trial as this ethical being held up above everything, which is super interesting. There's so many layers to it. But now, before we start, I guarantee you, we're going to have missed something. We're going to say something which isn't 100% right about Superman mythology or the comics, or probably make fun of Zack Snyder. So we're with you. Whatever you think, that's what we think too, and we're doing it against everybody else. So think about that. You think about that while you're doing this. But I guess rightly or wrongly, when we talked about this before, I think when we've talked about Superman in general, like just in general on the show and sort of this movie upcoming and whatnot, your sort of perception is he's a bit white bread and a little boring is sort of the vibe I've got from you from previously. So then what did you think of this? Like in general, like as a fun action comic book movie, like where'd you fall on this?
I thought it was good. I thought they did all the things that you run into with Superman, and like it's easy to do once. So let's see how goes through. Because like I think the
Yeah.
problem is it's hard to raise the stakes of without even getting into spoilers. It's hard to like maintain Superman being a vulnerable character.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the really intelligent thing it did is like the way you do that is not by his powers, it's by his like
Absolutely.
his ideological mindset and his naivete and like all that like that.
Yeah.
They used that effectively. And they used it in a way that built up other characters as well, including Lex and including Lois Lane. Like the three main characters are all playing into that weakness in different ways that inform each of their characters. So I think you did a really good job.
Agreed.
I thought the action was mostly interesting, largely because it was understated. Like there weren't that many huge Superman big like scenes, and to me that's better. Like these movies, it's like 45 minutes of just CGI. I get bored.
Totally. And look, this movie forces the Man of Steel to face sort of his own past and inevitable fate in many ways, and sort of have to deal with certain things that would be incredibly hard to have to even consider being told about yourself and about your background. So I think putting that emotional spin on it made it significantly more interesting. And I know this is getting mixed reviews. No one's going to think a Superman movie is perfect. Like, obviously, there's still Snyder fans out there and such, but I really dug it, man. I had a great time. I came out of this, big smile on my face. I felt like they did Superman justice. I think the one thing I would say for good or ill is this is 150% a James Gunn movie. Like, if you don't like James Gunn or his, sensibilities or how he directs or the nature of the characters he builds, it might not be for you. But I loved them, and I felt like it really worked in this setting where he could have quirky side characters. We're going to talk a little bit about, Mr. Terrific and the Green Lantern in this. But the core of it was, Superman, this beacon of hope and honesty and truth and justice in the American way. And he just got it right for me. There's a lot he could have got wrong. And like you say, he could have fallen into the old big CGI battle adage. And I don't think he did that too much either.
I don't think he did either. And I didn't know it was getting mixed reviews. I thought it was like mostly good.
No, mostly positive, yeah. But like I say, when I came out of the cinema, I sat with two good friends who both like superhero movies. One said they didn't like it. One said they really enjoyed it. I think it's just a common thread of superhero movies now. And I think they're so overhyped to a degree. Like I was talking about the Fantastic Four movie, which we'll probably talk about either the next time we catch up or the next time we catch up. And the amount of marketing that thing's getting, man, that's ringing alarm bells for me. I'm like, oh, this is either really good or really fucking bad.
It's funny because we're coming back from that. Like I was the one that was like, this is going to be terrible. And the more I see of it, the more I'm like, it could be good.
We're switching sides. I love that.
It could be good. Because I kind of feel like I also just forgot how much I like Pedro Pascal. So like he's in it, and that is gonna just like carry a lot. Like Last of Us got me in touch with my love affair with him.
I do think they're gonna fail the Fantastic Four. I think they're gonna lose.
Yeah. And I think they're gonna fail as well. I think that seems pretty clearly, and then they're gonna flee, and that's gonna be like the new Avenger threat. And then, that'll become like a cool, like, which is like really what you want. You need that a bit.
True. Well, look, getting back to Superman a little bit, quick question for you then. What did you think of the general concept of this? So like in many ways, like you were talking about before, like Superman is here. He's queer. He's not. Superman is here. He's in a full-fledged movie of his own where he's years into his development as a character. And he's like you say, Lois Lane knows he's Superman. He's been doing this for a little while. What did you think of that as a core to this movie rather than, it's not an origin movie. That's 100% for sure.
I wasn't like, the crazy part is I'm not so invested in Superman that I would have been super angry if it was an origin story.
That's fair.
But I think other people would be because of Man of Steel, which was, or felt like it was at least.
I just think we've seen it so many times. Like Batman at this point.
Yeah. So like, that's what everyone says. So I get it. And I think it was probably the right move. So yeah, I think it worked.
Definitely.
And I think you see a lot of like who Superman is as a person, and you kind of do the origin story thing in its own way through a non-typical origin story, because for reasons we can't really talk about yet. So we'll talk about it later.
Well, we will. That's 100% how I felt. And I think what really worked in this for me was that sense of like hope that got reinvigorated into Superman. Like obviously, like not shitting on the Snyder movies. I quite enjoyed the 4-hour one he did, even though it was very long.
Yeah.
And lots of slow motion. But it wasn't like it wasn't a happy movie. I didn't come out of it feeling uplifted. I didn't feel like the truth and justice way, So as cheesy as that might sound, it does kind of walk a line.
Yeah.
And it does it well. Like he doesn't feel indestructible in this, and I came away feeling uplifted by the message of the movie and the characters in it, which is really nice. It's really nice. Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought like he also for like being a superhero movie and glossy and all that candy poppy vibe. I thought he did like face some stuff like pretty head on, which was interesting. That like there was a couple call outs to like what's going on in the world for sure.
Yeah, there was some real political satire is the wrong word, but there was some real call outs to political goings on in the world in this. It was
visual, like just imagery.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't mind the call outs to it. I don't think that it stuck the landing.
Okay.
I don't think it like knew exactly what it wanted to say or not say or the questions it wanted to ask. It kind of just felt like the ending was like, ugh, and it just kind of all happened real quick in like one line from Superman.
I think it kind of got stuck in politically correctness.
So it's like I think there were like probably if you're gonna bring that up, maybe my one critique would be like try and think about the resolution with a little nuance. Where it kind of did feel very black and white. It was like one line from Superman, and then hey, that's the theme of the movie.
Definitely.
Overall, I thought it was good. Even that was, I thought, hard to do.
Tough to do. I feel like James Gunn, probably came under a lot of pressure for a lot of those scenes, and maybe we'll probably never know. But and he obviously I think he gets final cut on these films, but there would have been a lot of pressure for him to streamline some of those narratives, I would say. The one thing I would say, in line with what you were talking about before, is that I didn't, and sort of harkening back to you talking about Marvel movies a little bit a minute ago, I didn't feel like it followed the formula. Do you know what I mean? Like it did, and I know it did. It clearly, it was the classic hero's journey. He had to fall and then, come back and et cetera. Wise old man and all that stuff. But it didn't feel tropey or cliche to me. Like it just felt like a good time. I had fun with it. Look, we're coming off the back of Jurassic World, right? We watched Jurassic World a couple of weeks ago. Go back and listen to our last episode, which I hated. Spoilers for that episode. And it did all the things Hollywood does badly, even worse.
And it made so much money, which is bad.
Hard. Well, we said that. It's always going to. It's dinosaurs. So coming to this and it being good and nice and having like an interesting message and trying something a little different I felt sort of revitalized a little bit by this. I was like, yes, good. Cinema's here, baby.
I think it did a lot of things well. It set the world up well. The castings and the main three characters, it did really, really well. And particularly, we haven't talked about it, but like the villain, I think it did well. So
before we talk about him, can I ask you a question then? Just sorry, you were talking about the world being fully formed there.
Yeah.
Like I was really surprised by how far this went with that. So one of the things we will hold off till spoilers, which is part of the end of this. There is one core pillar of this movie which took me out towards the end, and I was a bit like, oh, it was an incredibly comic-y thing to do, and kind of felt like maybe 3, 4, or even like 10 movies in the future they would do it. Obviously holding that off till spoilers. Like, how did you feel about it? In terms of it's already evolved and you weren't really evolving with the world.
I'm fine with it. honestly, I am.
Yeah, cool.
No, I'm super fine with it because I think that this is good. Because I just if DC hadn't come from this shit show that was them trying to build 3 different worlds, I might have had the patience. I think it was really astute of James Gunn to realize most people weren't going to have the patience for that.
Fair.
I think and I think he did it in a way that didn't draw away from when you actually look at the cast bill of this movie, of all the different superheroes that are in it, you're probably initially like, bro,
it's a lot.
Like Spider-Man 3 vibes. You're trying to do too many things, but they were not used in that way at all. They were used as mostly comic relief. They weren't really given their own little origin stories. It was kind of like 2-liners. Like he handled like the subplotting of characters that were the ensemble pretty masterfully.
Totally.
I would say, which is like with a line or two, you get the context. I don't need to spend a lot of time. It's like, with what's his name, guy, whatever. It's like he's the dickhead superhero who cares about the name.
100%. Yeah, look, and you're speaking my language here. I love that about this, and it's really interesting because there's two things that made me think about that, like calling out. Like one was he's really James Gunn specifically is very good at getting the line right for side characters. Sort of building on what you were saying. I don't know, like if a character has a speaking line, it always feels like it has a purpose. It's never just a throwaway or for no reason. But it doesn't necessarily need to be a huge thing. Like it's just sort of part of the fabric of the story. And I really like that. And everyone feels like they have a purpose in this world. Like they're not just throwaway dolls just making up a background scene. And I was really fascinated, and I'd love to get your take on it before we talk a bit about the villain of this, by James Gunn's take on Lois Lane. Now, watching the James Gunn movies I've seen, and if you focus specifically on the sort of more superhero ones, the Marvel ones he did, I was really interested to see how he would handle a very complex, very emotionally intelligent character in Lois Lane, who is super intelligent, she's a badass. She literally is a badass. She's dating Superman. Of course, she has to be. And I thought he did a really fantastic job creating a likable and sort of realistic character. I think it would be really easy to get wrong. Super easy to get that character wrong, as in make like a damsel in distress or whatever and take away some of her agency. But I'd really love to know like a non-male perspective on that performance. Like obviously it's not going to come from this podcast, but like I'd love to know a non-male take on that performance. Like what do our non-male audience think about like the Lois Lane character? Like hit us up in the comments, or hit us up on Instagram, as we said before, podcast on Instagram, because to me it was super relatable. And we've joked before about male writers getting it incredibly wrong. I mean, look at Brandon Sanderson trying to write a female character. It's like he's never met a woman in his entire life. Whereas in this, like I felt he did a really good job, and she was super compelling.
Has he?
Brandon Sanderson? Probably not.
Now, I actually like Shalon a lot. I just think
Shalon?
Have you read those books? Oh no, you haven't read. You haven't read. You haven't read.
No, not yet.
I think he gets one. I think he gets like
one.
He gets better.
One right. Good. That's what you're going to say there. Brilliant.
No, and Jasna as well. There's two characters. I think in that trilogy or whatever you call it, fucking epic of books, he's a little bit better.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Cool.
A lot better.
And you like Lois Lane's performance in it?
Yeah, Vin felt very, very victimized.
Awesome.
I mean, to be fair, that is the character. No, I would agree with you on Lois Lane. She's he killed it, and the way the plot mechanisms and screenplay and dialogue that he used to do it with that like fake interview was just really, really great. That was like one of the best scenes in the movie. Yeah.
She even gets like a little action scene-ish where she teams up with Mr. Terrific to go on a rescue mission. I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, the pocket universe, cool little concept.
Yeah, I liked what they were doing there. That's really interesting. All obviously set up by Lex Luthor. So do you want to talk a bit about him and his sort of plan? I didn't really get the plan. I'm not going to lie to you.
Potentially spoilers, but the plan is basically Lex Luthor is trying to villainize Superman in many ways.
As he always does.
To both. Well, you're not really sure. I mean, we are, because we know the lore of Lex Luthor. It is because he literally just like hates this guy's guts. Like,
yeah,
he hates everything about how inferior Superman makes him feel as a physical being. So he's like, the classic Tony Stark, like weapons manufacturer, but villain. And he's got a plan to essentially, create war in the Middle East, like fund and get a bunch of oil money and fund this like dictator. And
I was going to say, he doesn't need to create it in this world.
Yeah. And basically create this scenario where, he knows Superman won't intervene. So then he can create the narrative and really start to push Superman as like a, kind of the Trumpian alien narrative that we get today. There's a lot of that too.
Yeah. Interesting take on using the media as well.
Oh yeah.
As in pushing the perspective that Superman is the villain of the piece, like using the media's gaze, let's say, and sort of the need for quick reactions and pushing out different pieces of like propaganda to turn people's feelings pretty quickly.
Yeah, he was critiquing that too, because you'd see like one
like that.
Yeah, I really like that because it's so true. You'd see like one anchorman be like, "We had him on our program, but now," like, and it's like, okay, well, like, fucking own up to it.
What do you think about Nicholas Hoult though? What do you think of his performance?
I thought he did as well as he could have. Like, I don't see a scenario where you cast him and he does better than that performance.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the typical Lex Luthor type. He's supposed to be like a bit older.
Yeah.
And like, so if you're gonna do a young Lex Luthor,
yeah,
I think he did a great job. The hard part is like the last Lex Luthor was quite young, and they leaned into that like tech billionaire trope with like being basically the Zuckerberg and like literally the guy that played Zuckerberg in Social Network.
Yeah, super interesting.
But so I thought like he was clearly different than that. And I think this was probably written a while ago. And this Lex Luthor aligns a lot more like some of the new age tech billionaires. I don't know if you probably don't follow it, but like the Anduril and Palantir and these like new age VC funded, multi-billionaire but $billion valued companies that are basically building like drones. They're a lot more right wing. They're a lot more like this Lex Luthor.
Okay.
So to me, it actually like was a bit omniscient. Like, I don't think he saw that coming when he was writing this, but I do think it plays. And yeah, I actually liked his performance.
I didn't mind it. I think you made a great point there. If you're casting younger, he's probably going to be a little different to the calm, cool, collected Lex Luthor later in life. But there was a bit of a manicness to some of his points of his performance that I didn't love. But I guess if you are that obsessed with Superman, it's probably going to happen at some point. I tell you what, I tell you someone who I did love in this, who was a bit of a standout side character for me, was Jimmy Olsen. Super fun, like just different portrayal.
Where is that guy from? Is he from Silicon Valley?
I can't remember. I was looking at it before, but like it's like a new take almost on him, where he is this like low key heartthrob. Like he's not just a normal looking dude, but everyone in the office is in love with him. Like he's got a super hot ex-girlfriend. Just like really fun and not like the usual like drooling over Superman incarnation of him. Just fun and different, and gave the world a little bit of a tweak to it. Also call out to Eddie Gaethke, who was, I don't know, I'm saying that terribly, but I have no idea how to say your name, apologies, but Mr. Terrific, who was a surprise favorite for me. I thought he was great in this. Got way more screen time than I expected.
Yeah, he was great. What about the cameo?
Peacemaker?
Yeah, so good.
I loved it.
I wish we got more of him.
They actually played a trailer for the second series of Peacemaker at the beginning of mine. I don't know if you got that, but I am so excited for that. I actually started watching the first series again the other day.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I missed that, but I didn't even see. Was there an after credit scene? We'll talk about it later, but I didn't even.
Yeah, there's a couple, but that pretty inconsequential. To be perfectly honest with you, I mean, we've talked a lot about the action. I did find the action compelling, and wanted to get your perspective on sort of bringing it down a little bit and not having everything be a huge CGI monstrosity. You've sort of touched on this before, but I kind of liked how Lex Luthor's goons found interesting ways to counteract Superman. So, for example, there's one who could change the matter in her hands, and she turned it into almost like this goop that went down his throat and tried to choke him. I kind of found that interesting, that they weren't just going, I mean, they did, but they weren't just kind of going brute force against brute force. It was like actually trying to outsmart him. I found that interesting.
Yeah. No, it was, they were made that they had really novel ways to make him weak, like
definitely
depower him. Not depower him, but just make him vulnerable.
Well, two quick questions then before we scooch on, because it's really hard to talk about it without spoiling it perfectly, because a lot of the movie, I don't think there's a lot in the trailers. I think the trailers keep a lot secret, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was smart. It's the way it should have been. Movies should do that more often, I would say.
Two questions before we move on.
Yeah.
First question, where does this rank for you among the Superman movies that you have seen? You'll have definitely seen the Christopher Reeve versions, probably seen the Brandon Routh version.
I haven't seen all of them. I've saw two of them with us because we watched them on the pod, I think.
The first one we watched actually somewhat recently for another project I'm working on, and it was very good. Very good. Yeah, do you remember the Brandon Routh Superman Returns? You obviously remember Zack Snyder's Henry Cavill.
Yeah, and even Man of Steel, I feel like I've seen it, but every time I try and watch it, I fall asleep halfway through. So I don't think I've ever seen it like front to back, to be honest. I honestly don't know if I ever have. But the one I remember most was the one that came out in like the early 2000s or something.
The Brandon Routh version, Superman Returns,
Yeah,
where he catches the plane,
yeah. I've seen that one.
which is historically supposed to be not a great one.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best one I've seen for sure.
I mean, for me, it's up there with the Chris Reeve versions.
Yeah.
Like it is very good. Like, and captures a lot of that heart. But I guess the real question, DL, is, and this is just to piss a lot of people off, but who do you think would win in a fight between David Corn Sweat's Superman and Henry Cavill's Superman?
It's pretty clear that Cavill's would win.
I just like snap his neck. You just grab him and just.
That doesn't make him a better Superman, though. I guess that's the point.
Funny, it's true. Do you have any tones and themes for this before we carry on?
Yeah, we're all humans, bud.
Love it.
Superman basically declares it. It's like, this is the theme, cunts. He just yells it at you. You're like, okay, dude, I figured it out.
It's subtitled at the bottom. The only bit of subtitles in the whole film. Theme. Yeah, loved it. Like the themes of like, you're not your parents. The themes of we all have to make our own mistakes. The sins of the father in there. There's plenty thematics around parentals.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have a 3 best and 3 worst?
Yeah, my 3 best were the main characters. They all
like that.
played. They acted well, and it's when you get good writing, it's also helpful. But I think they all added stuff in their performance to the writing. Like Superman was like pretty obviously naive, but in a way that is like relatable.
Yeah,
because we've all felt, how do you make Superman human? You make him do human ass shit, like read the tweets about himself.
Do his taxes.
I can tell, bro. I would have identified. If there was one scene that a certain CEO could identify with right now, it would be that scene where he was like reading his own tweets or tweets about him. And Lois Lane, like she being a highly capable female in a world where like one of the top. I think they played with that well, where it was like one of the top reporters is Clark Kent, who just keeps getting the same interview.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not actually capable of being a really, really great journalist because you're not willing to answer the hard questions yourself, let alone ask them.
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome. And then Lex, I really liked Lex's manic energy.
Yeah.
Because it was so religious almost.
I agreed. And
it goes to show that like you can take capitalism and domination and all that stuff to a religious end almost the same way you can like other philosophies.
Look at you being all philosophical.
Yeah.
Mine are pretty straightforward. I mean, one of mine is the cast. Like I 100% agree with you. Everyone in it was great. James Gunn did a great job of making people feel real and giving them meaning. It didn't, no one was a flash in the pan. I also had the thing we've talked about a lot, which is that the world felt lived in. Like these metahumans have been around for a long time. Like this is nothing new. Again, I have to come back to the question though, like why would you live in Metropolis if it's getting attacked every other day? Like it's like the Batman thing. Like
it doesn't feel like you have many other options in this world. It's like Gotham or that, and I'd much rather be in fucking Metropolis, dude. Like does
Metropolis or Gotham?
Does Batman even count as a metahuman?
Yeah, I'd rather the opportunity Superman saved me than Batman.
He's just a dude.
He's just an incredibly intelligent dude. I think my last best is a best and worst, which is going to be the end of my spiel here. But the James Gunn-ness of this, for me, made this movie. And as I said before, but then that could be a bad thing because like if you don't like James Gunn, this just might not be for you, and that's fine. That's nice and fine. Do you have any worst?
Yeah, I think my worst would be, I do think they didn't nail the landing with the theme. Like they were a bit, meaning like they didn't need to say it at the end the way I thought that there was a bit like too much. Here it is for you. Like we got it. Make Superman more subtle. Maybe that's the point. Superman isn't subtle. I didn't love that part. I thought there was like some minor changes you could have made to make it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like the way he like did the Palestine thing and the way he did the alien thing, I think was super interesting and well done. It made you think like, oh, okay. Like there's just something about an image with like a bunch of tanks
at the very beginning of the film
with like literally like cleavers that is just highly you can't help but be like, make the analogy.
Yeah.
And that's the point. It's like, stop debating this. There's certain things that we can all agree on.
Yeah.
I think that the way they finished it didn't fully tie that together. Like there needed to be the equal and opposite view that made you ask the question of like, okay, like certain parts of this part are fucked up too. Like we do certain parts of what Superman does are fucked up, and we need to identify. And it kind of felt like more like it landed on Superman is right. And I would have liked a little more nuance in the ending, but that's a nitpick.
It's a nitpick with validity though. And you're right. You're absolutely right. But I feel like for a first movie in this world, I can see why he didn't go that far.
I just still asking for a little bit.
Stop asking for more, GL. Stop it. You always ask for more.
Just a little bit more nuance to that last literally 5 minutes.
You got another worst to finish up with?
No, that's all I had.
Nice.
There's a lot of great
good
parts.
film.
I could keep going on about that. Yeah.
Well, then, can you guess me the current IMDb score for this?
Well, you said it's mixed, so I'm guessing it's like mid-7s, 7.5.
Ooh, it's 7.7. I thought you were going to have it there for a second. You were like, I could see it in your eyes. You really wanted that one.
The 7s in my eyes.
Can you? Yeah, you are a 7. To be fair, can you guess me the Rotten Tomatoes score?
That'll be more like 84.
Oh, it's 83. Oh, you're so close.
Oh.
Love what you're doing here. Finally, then, can you guess me the Letterboxd score, which is always 3.6, but never 3.6?
3.8.
4. I think, like, for Letterboxd, that's
Letterboxd coming in hot. That's
popping up high. That's big numbers. So we always have to ask this question, even though sometimes it's completely pointless. But it's our rating system, DL, and it'd be forever ours. We ask now, then, because the internet's binary, is this better or worse than the most average movie we know, and why? DL, is it better or worse than Aquaman 2018?
Clearly better.
It's better. Are you ready to see an Aquaman in this universe? Oh, that's a big question.
I forgot he was DC.
Yeah.
Look, if anyone could do it,
by the Justice League,
it would be James Gunn.
Well, saying about all these movies, they're only going to get the go ahead if the script is on point. So I've trusted James Gunn for this. Have faith.
No, yeah, I think if anyone could, it's more like, is he a blockbuster movie or is he a character in Peacemaker?
Great question. Love him to just
I
be
think
like,
it's probably more the latter than it is the...
But I guess you can't just build your world on A-list characters. Like Iron Man wasn't an A-list character before, 2008. He was a C-list at best. So you've got to start working on those characters too. So I'm intrigued to do that.
Maybe he's a main character. Maybe he's a main character in Peacemaker.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe there's a fish mission. like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he's one of the crew. Like, I think it has more of a penchant towards comedy than it does like drama. And
interesting.
I struggle to see a world where like a Superman movie and an Aquaman, side story like makes sense. But
brilliant.
Where it's like a world where Peacemaker has to like go do some crazy shit in the sewage, and then like you know what I mean? Like I see that much more easily. Like
I look forward to asking, is Aquaman 2027 better than Aquaman 2018? That will be a day for us, DL. Should we do some spoilers then? Big time spoiler time?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest one clearly is that they've changed a big part of the lore with this one.
Origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, and done, and we kind of had to hint about it before, but there's halfway through the movie where, we get a clip of like this thing that inspires Superman every day. It's this message from his father, his real father.
Bradley Cooper.
Biological father, I should say.
Bradley Cooper is Superman's father.
Brad Cooper and someone else famous as well.
Oh, missed it completely.
Who are basically, it's like, hey, we've sent you to Earth. It's like a beautiful message. But like apparently in the transmission, it like cuts halfway through.
Yeah.
And so you're like, Chekhov's space message.
Chekhov's gun,
that it's coming later in the movie. And Lex Luthor hacks into Superman space, another cool power, moment where you're like, oh, this Lex Luthor is pretty capable.
Yeah.
And he gets the other half of the message. And it turns out that, and I don't know if this is for sure. I think they made it so clear that it is, that I don't think, like going back on it, I think actually would.
I wonder that too.
Yeah. Would be, I think it would actually take away from the choice. But basically the message is actually, we think they'll be really easy to manipulate and conquer. And do they even say harem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or did he say that?
They use the word harem. Yeah. Have a harem of women. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be able to have like basically spread your genes. Some real Elon Musk shit, dude.
Yes. Grok just busting out some nonsense. I love that because it set up this really interesting conflict in Superman, and you talked about it a lot at the beginning, like that emotional arc he goes through, the thematic relevance of it through the whole film. He is a conqueror. That's what he should be, but he chooses not to be, and I fucking love that. Like, he chooses to be human, and that's kind of the core theme of this movie, and I think it just worked really nicely.
It's a phenomenal change, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. They also had Pa Kent alive, which I found different and interesting. Like a huge part of Superman's. So Pa Kent, like his dad.
I didn't even know he died.
The old guy in Smallville. So like a big part of Superman's origin is that Pa Kent dies, right, of a heart attack, and Superman realizes I cannot save everyone, but I have to try my best. So like that's a huge part of his like origin story. And I wonder if they save that. Don't you remember Kevin Costner in The Hurricane for no apparent reason in the Snyderverse?
No, I remember that, but I thought that was like I didn't realize that was an origin story.
Yeah,
I thought that was like a change.
I think they're probably saving it more than likely for a further down the line movie. But I also really like just two old people trying to use technology to like call him and stuff. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, this is a really nice, funny little call out.
We've all been there.
100%. 100%. I think as part of that, like we talked about the media being manipulated and Luthor getting a hold of that message and using it to change the public perception and, turn people against Superman because of his, jealousy. It's just fascinating.
Really well done.
Making people scared of him as an alien. Yeah, totally.
Critique on the media, critique on Trump stuff. It's really well done. That part I thought was actually well executed.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting the media being used to distract with Superman is just a distraction basically for him to take over in the Middle East. Like obviously his pettiness, he wants to kill Superman, but he's trying to take over the fictional Middle Eastern area, which is interesting because a lot of the other Superman films that have come out have had Lex Luthor wanting to seize land in other parts of or parts of the US or in the world. So
is it? I didn't realize.
Yeah, the 78 one, his master plan is to shoot missiles to hit the what's the fault down California, whichever it is, to break California away, basically.
San Andreas.
Yeah, he's basically buying all the land behind California so that when he hits the fault and that area of Earth comes away, he then owns all the beachfront land. It's hilarious. It's nonsense. But then, like, again, in Superman Returns, like, he's just trying to get some old woman's will so he can buy a bunch of land. It's a weird concept that he seems to keep falling back to.
It is a weird, like, it just seems like kind of like small time.
Totally. Super interesting.
In the superhero
I think
world.
In this one, don't they call out that
funny.
this fictional nation has like a bunch of oil or something, and it's or resources, and
Uranium,
that's why it's
basically Ukraine.
That's right. Yeah. Super interesting parallels. Like,
can't have Russia get them minerals. Fucking Lindsay Kelly's dickhead ass. Fucking
God.
Anyway, sorry. Lindsey Graham. Sorry.
Something we haven't had a chance to talk about is Superman actually gets captured in this and imprisoned in like a pocket dimension. You mentioned the pocket dimension before. That was super interesting, super different. And this is something I want to talk to you about, right? So a lot of comic booky things are really chucked at the wall in this. So like pocket dimensions, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but they're literally being a clone of Superman. That was the bit for me, that clone part. That's where it just went that one step too far. I was in all the way till that last scene, and I was just like,
I didn't mind it. I didn't
didn't love it
because it wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't.
It's actually like, well, because it also doesn't. It kind of makes sense. Like, no one's gonna be able to when you start being like, oh shit, Superman lost the battle, and you're kind of like, part of you in the lingering in your mind is like, okay, I agree that we need to make him vulnerable, but who is the hammer of Bavravia? Yeah. Like, what, dude? Like, who is this rando? It makes sense. The only one that could beat Superman would be Superman.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like for a first movie in a franchise, it's quite a long way into the comic book universe, you know?
Well, it's good. I mean, that means he's going to make you guess what will come next.
True.
Like, I kind of like that he used a lot of this stuff in ways that, made Superman a character. Like, I don't want him to half-bake the first one so that he, like, leaves some stuff ready for the next one. I want him to do what's right for the story that he's trying to write and then write himself into a corner and find a way out.
Yeah.
Like, like that would be, there's still a lot of stuff he could use.
I liked him in a sense writing himself to a corner with Superman getting captured because he was in a cell with a guy who could turn his hand into kryptonite. And it turns out that Luthor had also kidnapped the guy's son and was forcing him to do it. And I really liked that. I thought it was an interesting manipulation of your expectations of characters. And that guy ended up going away and being part of, what were they called? The Justice Gang or whatever they're called at the end. with those guys. I really like that. I thought it was a fun moment.
I liked it too, but I was also like, surely don't put the kid and him in the same room.
Don't
like,
put them anywhere
you know,
near each other.
Superman's clearly gonna be like, I'll go save him. Like, yeah. Anyway,
Within seconds, always. It was interesting. I liked that as well. When Superman did lose or get beaten up or was slightly depowered, he had to take time and take in the yellow sun. I kind of like that. It kind of made him feel, like he had to regenerate.
why do you still look gross?
Yeah.
I thought I also
Good
liked
line.
the moment where like his homie just gets murked
Oh
with
yeah,
the Russian roulette. That was pretty dark.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
real dark. I mean, there were dark moments in this. Like that was one of them.
Yeah.
Someone who just helped Superman. Lex Luthor unalived him just in front of him, just to torture him, basically.
Who was clearly just like a fan of like what Superman was doing because he'd
Yeah.
saved his like just a random citizen.
But also it gave more depth, and that's what I was saying about every character feeling like they were, relevant to the story. Like that was just a random dude who sold falafel on the street or some whatever. Like I'm saying falafel like
Yeah.
it's Batman. I genuinely, man, had a great time with this. Do you have any last bits of spoilers?
No, I can't think of anything. I think we got most of them. I mean, Lois Lane. There's like the guy's girlfriend is like Joe. What's his name? Johnny. You said that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. So Jimmy
Jimmy.
Olsen's ex, who is this absolutely stunningly beautiful girl in like an awesome subversion of that character. He's all the hotties love Jimmy Olsen in this apparently. Is actually Lex Luthor's current girlfriend, and she has been taking selfies in all of the rooms with all of the plans he's working on and sends them all to Jimmy Olsen. They think she's an idiot and she sent all the wrong pictures, but it turns out it has all the secret plans in. I actually even really liked that twist, like that had a lot of weight to it.
Well, it's kind of just like, yes, she's clearly got no self-esteem, and yes, she's comes off like an idiot, but there's intelligence takes different forms.
Totally. Look,
You know?
I think ultimately, like, and I know it was very much just like plastered on screen, but Superman deciding that his flaws make him human, and that's why he is one. I like that as a theme of this film. I felt like it was nice.
Same.
It was a nice theme.
Yeah, we agree. It was a good movie. You should watch it.
Go and watch it at the cinema before it leaves. Let's do some trivia true or false. You want a bit of trivia true or false, deal?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. We talked about Christopher Reeve before, who was the 1978 Superman and many more. His son, Will Reeve, actually appeared in the movie as a reporter. Is that true or is that false?
True.
It is true. In real life, Will is actually a television correspondent for ABC News. Who would have believed it? Good on you, Will. Whoever Will is. Trivia true, trivia false, deal. James Gunn confirmed one of Henry Cavill's suits for Man of Steel was used for the actors to wear during auditioning for Superman. Is that true or is it false?
True. I mean, even the suit that the guy wears is kind of feels a bit slack on him, or a bit loose. Couldn't quite fit Henry Cavill's massive fucking muscles.
Well, interestingly, when David Cornswet put it on, he accidentally tore it. He was too tall for the suit. He's I don't think Henry Cavill's actually that tall. So yeah, interesting one.
No, but he is wide.
He's a chode. Henry Cavill is a chode.
Yeah.
Trivia true, trivia false, DL. Superman's iconic trunks were CGI'd on to the suit after the suit tested negatively with fans. Is that true or is that false?
False.
It is false. The return of Superman's iconic trunks was actually requested by David Cornswet, who justified it by saying, "I'm an alien from outer space who can fly, lift buildings, and shoot laser beams out of my eyes and dissolve things. I want kids to not be afraid of me, so what am I going to wear?" I think that's really cute. I think it makes a lot of sense as well. Good on you, David Cornswet.
Yeah, we didn't talk about him. He played it well.
I agree. I felt like he embodied Superman as well as he possibly could have done. Yeah. Speaking of, is this true or is this false, DL? Currently, in the zeitgeist, Patrick Schwarzenegger actually auditioned to play Superman. Is that true or is that false?
That is, I don't even know who that is. So true. It's what's his name's son, isn't it?
It is absolutely Arnold's son, who
true.
coincidentally lobbied for the role in 1978, but it didn't get it. You got 4 out of 4 this week. That's pretty good, DL. I'm proud of you. Look at you. Look at you with your Dharma glasses on, getting things right. Who would have guessed?
Smart guy. Smart guy.
I think ultimately this is probably one of the better superhero movies you'll see this year. Fantastic Four notwithstanding.
What else came out that we liked? Thunderbolts or whatever?
I enjoyed Thunderbolts a lot. That was a good film. We haven't had that. Captain America was bad. I don't think you saw that one. Yeah, I think this is going to be up there with better movies this year.
Imagine the MC. Imagine freaking Fantastic just slays, and then it's like, ooh, the stakes are raised, Gunn, and they all just kind of keep.
Oh,
wouldn't that be nice?
I really hope that these just push each other.
Yeah,
I
of
hope,
course.
like you said, DC ones keep getting better, and it makes Marvel think harder about their films, so they push harder. Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Now, how are they going to do Batman in this universe? I saw they announced one.
Oh,
there's some
question.
drama there, surely,
Yeah.
where like Matt Reeves has clearly done something that everyone loves and has enough fucking weight to be like,
Juice.
I'm gonna do what I want. And James Gunn also, they've made this huge bet, so they're like, he can't really like overweigh Matt, but like they clearly very different palettes.
Yeah, very much. I feel like that'll be a separate thing.
You could not have two directors that are very like more different in what they're trying to do with a superhero movie. I think Matt Reeves is like almost like Christopher Nolan 2.0, and then like,
and I think that's fine.
No, it is fine, but I got to imagine there's a bit of like James Gunn being like, dude, I need this character. It's like a core part of the DC universe.
Slow down. Oh, didn't they just announce the script for Batman 2? I think it'll be fine. I just think they'll do it as an elsewhere, like a separate world thing. Like, it's fine. Surely audiences are intelligent enough by now to know that these two movies aren't going to be connected. Watch the first one. Just watch it.
No, I know that, but I think there's more of like a Batman fatigue risk.
Interesting. You definitely don't want Batman fatigue.
You know? Yeah.
He's a primetime character. Good point. Good point,
Yeah.
DL. Good point, and a conversation for the next time we catch up. Thank you very much for sticking with it, guys. We really appreciate you. DL, do you want to wrap up the Superman show?
Of course, man. Everybody, thank you for coming on. Please do
Thank you.
write us a review.
I'm not sure why I said it like that.
I don't know why you said it like that either. But you know, give us a review sometime. Maybe try and, you know, tell your friends about us, that kind of thing.
We would love that.
Yeah, there's a big thank you out there to Matthew Bliss of Blissery.fm. He is the pod man. I'm looking for my notes
Pod
because
man.
I basically for what I usually say, but he's the pod man. If you'd like to,
I love this padding for time.
if you'd like Matt as the pod man to be a part of your pod team, get in touch at business@mbpod.com or head to mbpod.com to find out more about what he does and his services. You can also listen to some of his stuff. Talk with the podcaster, short thought pieces on topics of podcasting, shared over
Awesome content.
a cup of coffee.
Joe.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got this week.
Thanks for sticking with it, guys. Tally ho.
Tally ho.